everybody, welcome back to Rachel and Bella Crafts. Rachel here, I hope you're well. So I've been working on a little project this afternoon and I just thought I would show you what I'm doing and do the rest of the kind of make with you. And I thought it would be a good opportunity for you to try this for this week's weekly challenge. I'm sorry I'm a bit late with the weekly challenge this week. I've had a little bit of time off work this week and been out with the kids on some day trips because it's obviously their summer holidays. So yeah, been a bit busy, but I've got a nice little project for you to do today. So you will probably recognize this. This is one of the paper bags that I started to collage last week for the paper bag challenge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the paper bag not as a pocket as such, but I'm going to use it to make well, just a bit of a journal. I thought we could give it a go. So I've cut lots of pieces ready. I've done some sticking ready. I've done some folding ready, just trying to save a bit of time. But I'm also going to be using this sheet here. This sheet here is one of the freebies that has gone out this month as part of the coffee memberships that we're now running. So if you're not aware of what this is, in the link in below, I've been talking about in the last couple of videos that I've done that we're trialing some of our digis on there because we're trying to see if we can find a better way to be able to get our digis out to you, just because the charges on Etsy now are making it quite difficult really to, you know, make it worthwhile basically. So we've also got a membership scheme running on our coffee page. There are 3 different tiers, and for each tier of membership you get different things. So for the top tier you get a full kit free every month sent to your email address. For the next kit below you get 4 free digis or 4 freebies, and then for the lower package you get 2 of the freebies sent out to you every month. So this is one of those freebies that I've done. Obviously if you're not part of the membership, that's fine. You know, you can modify something in whatever way you want to fit this project, but you don't need to have this sheet to do this. It's just I know that somebody will say, where did you get the sheet from? Because it's not in the kit. So that's just to explain where this sheet has come from. So what we're going to do is I have taken a brown paper bag. So it's one of those ones with the little handles on, a limp bag, I think we would call it. And I've done the collage on that side, and I've added now a piece to the bottom, and I've added a piece to this bit in here. So if you do need to catch up, stop your video now and you can do that, or you can just carry on with me. So what I've done then is where the bag was folded like a bag, I've actually taken this bit here and folded it back. So then that gives us a nice kind of journal cover fold. You should have a little divot in there, and then when you turn the back over you should have that section there. Now there are a few other bits I'm going to do before we go on to putting anything else in, just because it's a lot easier to do it before the bits and pieces are inside. So the next thing that I'm going to do now is I've actually made some holes already in this. If I don't tell you this, I know I'm going to forget after. And this is purposely why I've gone and gotten things ready. So what I did is I put my my big cork, my hole making cork, so I stuck that inside the bag. Sorry about the rustling. And I popped that in so that it was just under there, and then I was able to rest on that then and make myself a hole. And then I did the same thing then on this section here. So I took my cork back and then I poked that through with my pokey and I made a nice big hole there. And then I was able to do that then and not obviously damage anything. The reason I've done that is because I am going to have a little closure on here. I did try it earlier with some buttons, but that didn't work, so that plan's been scrapped. But what I am going to do before I go any further, I was looking for a bit of scrap, and then I think I got a bit distracted. But I just want to make some little circles to go on there, just to kind of give it a little bit more stability. So I'm just going to take a sheet of the kit a moment, and I'm going to take my little circle cutter. And then I'm going to cut me some circles, and I'm going to try and do it right on the edge of this fold, because if you do it on the edge of the fold, they should stay together then. And in theory, then shouldn't be quite so hard to put together. I can't see that now. I much prefer my other circle cutter, but that one's a bit blunt, so I'm going to utilise this one a moment. Ooh, right, there we go. Sure how they want to come out there then. Right, so that's that one. Let me just put a little bit of glue on there. Yeah, so again, I'm still trying to stick with the old, as I was telling you in my last video, I'm trying to be less, you know, antsy about getting everything ready and to just kind of go with the flow a bit. I do apologise, my last video was a bit long for some of you. I do try to keep them a bit short, so we'll see how far we get with this today. If we don't get it all done, I'll just come back at it for another bite, rather than keeping you all too long, because I know you're not fussed on the videos being too long, some of you here, so and that's fine. I know you've got things to do. It's nice to be able to just dip in and dip out sometimes, isn't it? So like I say, I'm trying to achieve two things now. One is not editing so much, because it just takes so blinking long to get videos out, and the second thing is try not to overthink doing videos. So let's see what we can get done here now today with a little bit of preparation. So there we go, that's my circles done. I'm now going to pop these little rings through here and see if I can just get in that bag and pop that in. I know it just seems a funny thing to be putting the closure on at the beginning, but if I don't do it now, I'm afraid I may not get back into the centre of the bag afterwards. There we are, I think that's my split pin open there now. Here we go. And we've got a little hook on it. Fabulous. Right, let's just do this one now. We are about to enter into, it sounds so exciting. It is exciting. Well, in a kind, I don't know, is it exciting? These are supposed to be, I've got to go out and work in it. Anyway, we're about to have another heat wave begin tomorrow. I don't know where tomorrow comes into it, because I think we've actually been in a heat wave the whole week here in Wales. It's been lovely. Can't go outside in it much, mind, but yeah, if you're off and you're having time for the summer holidays with your kiddies, it's great. So you know, but obviously be careful. Those of you that are here, watch your skin. I do believe our wonderful government have told us that it's another amber warning. I don't know, your amber warnings for heat. Okay, I'm not tremendously happy about that circle there. That's a little big. It's hanging over. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I'm going to just leave it there for now, because I can do something with it when it's there, even if I just fold the end over maybe. Yeah, perhaps that looks okay. That's not so bad, is it? Because I'm going to be doing something with the front anyway. So let's just stick that down. Because we can't have that hanging loose over the front. No, that will never do. There we are. Right, so that's my little closures there on there now. We will worry about those at the end. But the main thing is they're in. So what I thought was, like I say, I've added a piece here now, just to kind of give that a little bit of, ooh, you know, looks pretty. And then what I've gone ahead and prepped is a few, I wanted to have like some interesting bits and pieces with it, because obviously it's not very big. So I thought, right, it would be good if we could have things that fold out and flip out and unfurl and one thing and another, just to kind of give the journal a bit more depth. So the first thing that I've done is I've taken a section, you have to excuse my washi tape, this was me testing it all out earlier to see if it would work, and I should have taken it off straight away. Do you find that if you leave your washi tape on too long, it is? So I cut out a piece here ready to go on there, but normally I'm very quick to stick things down, so I kind of hung back, and what I did is I've taken one of the envelopes, so this is in the kit, and I folded that in such a way that I'm going to tuck this flap here underneath this bit there, and then what it'll do is it will give me the opportunity to then create some flaps and flips and folds, because this envelope no longer then serves as an envelope, but becomes a foundation, shall we say, for further folds. And we probably won't work on this today. I'll come back to that in another video, I think, but that needs to go in at this point, otherwise we're not going to be able to get to it, if that makes sense. But I will show you something with that later on, but not today. So we're just going to put it in place today, so you just need to make sure you've got that in there, because we're going to just stick that down. So I'm just going to double check on my positioning, because I don't specifically need it to go all the way in, sometimes it's nice to just have that little bit of breathing space, isn't it? So it doesn't matter if this is a bit more kind of flush with this edge here, so to speak, and then that sitting on top of that there. So I think what I might do is stick that down first, and then we can look at the rest. So let's just put a little bit of glue across here. There we are. Wonderful. Oops. I'm just going to close that so I can just make sure that it is sitting inside. Now, the only thing I'm going to warn you about these brown paper bags is that when you fold them out of shape, like I've done, where I've taken the base and I've promoted it around, everything's slightly skewer, so just go with it. This is going to be a rustic style journal. There's not really many straight edges, and you've just got to go with it, because even when you're trying to do things by eye, you're like, ooh, something's off there. It's all off. So I just warn you, it's all out of shape, it's all off, because the bag wasn't intended to be folded this way. So as you can see, you've got a lovely straight edge at the bottom, but the top is off. It's just the way it is. You've just got to go with it. So don't overthink it too much. This is my advice. You know, just get those bits stuck down and utilize your bag in the best way possible. Now, obviously, you don't have to do your paper bag journal the same way I'm doing mine. You can add different things to different places. This will be the challenge this week, but you can do this any way you like, because obviously not everybody has this style of paper bag. So if you don't have a paper bag, find something else, do something similar with it. I don't mind if you do it with a piece of board, if you do it with an Amazon packaging bag, whatever, you know. Even if you make the bag first, that's fine. There's no hard and fast rules. It's just an idea we're just throwing out there for you to have a bit of fun with. There we go. So that's stuck down now, and that's stuck down. Now, just for ease of opening and closing, I'm just going to pop a little bit of washi by there, and hold the other one, and a little bit of washi by there, just so that that doesn't keep on popping up every time I want to open or close it. Okay, so that's that done there. Oh, and I'm just going to tape that down. Do you know what? I stuck that on there ages ago, and I haven't been able to see it for the last hour. There we are. So that just keeps that in place so it's not getting in my way. Right. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is, what I've done is I've taken a piece of tea dye paper. This is just a standard size. I haven't cut it or anything. This is just a standard size copy of paper. I tea dyed it. They do tend to shrink slightly, I think. And what I've done is I have measured it so that it will fit just under there. And that is literally just a little lip. There's nothing major there for that to catch on. And I fold it in such a way that I've taken my first fold back. That comes to this seam here. And then I folded it back again on itself almost. And then I folded it again. So it will sit in the back just like this. Just like that. And then the idea is that you'll be able to fold it in and fold it out. But what I've also cut ready, now what have I done with it? That's it there, is a piece of the kit. Oh, I didn't ink. And that's to go on the top here. And I have taken my tab cutter and I've cut a little tab to go on there, which will be glued just underneath, because then the idea is that you'll know to pull that, and then it'll kind of pull the paper out, and then you know then you can write on there. That makes sense. Sorry, I've got hiccups. Right, so first and foremostly, I just need to ink this, because if I don't ink it, it won't pop off the tea dye paper, will it? There we go. This is all worked out in my head. I just, be good to see it, you know, done now. Because I was like, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? It's always a risk. But that's part and parcel of the fun of it all, isn't it? Okay. Right. So that's that bit done. And then I've got my tab. Sorry, excuse all the washies. I was just afraid if I didn't tape it all up, by the time it came to me doing a video and explain it all to you, I was going to have forgotten what I'd done. So I thought, right, I'm going to have to just washi tape all of this together. Otherwise I'll be like, how did I do that again? What goes where? Right, so first things first, let's tape the tab to this little section here. Oop. So that needs to go on there. And then we will tape that section then onto the coffee type paper, tea type paper, whatever it is you're using. You can use a digi, you can use whatever you want. This is just what I'm utilising. And just straighten that up on there, pop it right on the edge. Here we go. Lovely jubbly, job done. Okay, right, so now we're going to stick this now onto this piece here. Oh, and I've also, when I cut it, I also then use my my corner cutter, the evasive corner cutter that I finally found. To turn in my room upside down, it was by my foot. Not just by my foot, it was in a storage box that is down by my foot under my desk. It's like, what are you doing there? Why on earth would I put that in there? I do some daft things. Do you find that? You just put things in daft places. You think, like, I would never think to look there. Why did you do that? Okay, here we go. So that just makes that page there look a little bit more interesting. And as I said, it then shows me that I can pull this page out and then right under there. It gives you extra writing space. This paper is lush. I'm really pleased with paper. This stuff I dried outside. In fact, I think I might try and do that this weekend now while I'm home, as we have another heat wave. Get out and get some papers done. Right. Okay, so the next step now is for us to stick that in there. And I'm just thinking to myself, do I glue it in? Yeah, because it doesn't need to, in fact I could probably glue it to that bit there because it doesn't need to come forward, does it? Just needs to, so yeah, I think I will glue that down there, and I think that'll just make everything a little bit more secure and as it should be, if that makes sense. Because we don't want that coming off, do we? Now, right, try and do this now without getting glue everywhere. Okay, we tucked right in, I think we are. Gracias. Marvellous. There we go. Okay, excellent. Right, so that now will sit quite nicely in there, and then it'll fold back, and we've still got this nice view of the kit. And of course you can just open it, you can see that bit there, you can journal down there, you can journal down there, however you like, but we've got a nice little fold out bit there now. Now this here is my little tiny signature that I made to go into the journal. So again, I've tried to utilize my folds. Obviously this this journal is obviously narrower than your standard size. I was determined not to cut any of the papers, so what I have done is I have folded marvellous little folds, and I've turned the papers around different ways so that each page will have an extra area. Now what I may do as I start to work in it is I may turn them into a pocket or a tuck or what have you, but for now I've just popped them in there with these lovely little folds. So that's the structure of the journal, and that will be stitched in there in a moment, but we have something else to do first. So the next thing that we need to do, I'm just going to take that signature out of the way for now, is this section now at the back. So what I'm going to do here, that's why I've got these little, I have to put better glue on there than that. This is why I've got these little rung pulls now, is what I've done is I've made a concertina. I'm going to call it a harmonica, but it's a concertina, I think that's what you call it. I've made a concertina and I've done it to fit inside this back section here. Now, the idea of the tab things that I put on at the beginning was to form a little closure so that I can put a little bit of string from one to the other that will keep the back bit closed. So I'll probably just put something very, very narrow on there. I've folded it in such a way that it does stick out slightly because I just think that it's good to know it's there, basically. It's pointless hiding it, isn't it? And if I just gently affix it with the coffee type, not coffee type paper, what am I talking about? With the washi tape, you'll see what it is I'm trying to achieve. Because obviously you won't be able to open it and write in there. So whatever's in there needs to be able to come out. That was my thinking anyway. What have I done here? Let me just pull that out there a sec. Sorry, waffling. Right, so I was thinking if I can fix it in and then we'll be able to pull it out, and you'll then have extra journal space, which you can then deftly fold back away and pop back under there. And then tie the little tie on there, and then it'll stay in place nice and neat. But obviously in order to do that, we need to stick this down. So let's just take this washi tape off, because I don't need that now, because I can remember perfectly well where it goes. So again, if you are crafting along with this and I'm going too fast, please feel free to press pause and I'll just stop, just like that, and I'll wait for you while you catch up. But yeah, so don't panic if I'm going too quick. I just didn't think you needed to see me fold a concertina. You know how to do that, don't you guys? You know, just literally piece of paper, fold it backwards, fold it this way, fold it that way, fold it this way, and obviously check your measurement before you start. So that's all I've done here, okay? But yeah, so I'm going to just stick that piece in there now, like I just did with the other side, and then we'll have this lovely bit then that'll fold in and out. So let's get gluing. Oh, I'm always nervous gluing bits in, and I've been just looking at them for ages. Trouble is, you start to procrastinate a bit too much then, aren't you? I know I do. Queen of procrastination, I am. Okay, let's get that in there now. So I would like that to be all the way in, as tight as we can, right up to the fold. Marvellous. There we go. So that's now our little hidden journaling spot at the back. And we will come back to this bit a little later. That is really annoying me there. I don't know why that doesn't want to stick down. I'm going to have to put something over, I think. Because I don't think that's going to stay down, because this is going to be opening and closing and what have you. Stay. Okay. Right, so that's the bit at the back done. That's the bit on the inside done. Oh, this looks amazing already. My gosh, look at that. Difference in just sticking stuff in. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at now is to stitch in our signature. And that will go there. Now, the question is, do I want it to come out, or do I want it to come out there? Because I don't actually have to have it popping out there, do I? I can have it. I could just stitch it through there. In which case, if I am going to do that, I will definitely need to lean on my block. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to try and fix this inside of. I'm just going to do a two hole stitch. What have I done with my binding kit? There we go. Let's see if I've got any scraps in here that I can utilise. Get my needle out ready. It's probably a bit big, that needle, but that's alright, it'll do. Right, have I got anything long enough now? But because I keep all my ends. Right, so that might do it. See if I can get my finger around that. It'll go through, it's just whether or not I'll have enough to play with to do or not, but we'll see. Let's just thread that in there a minute. Oh, I need to put my reading glasses on. Right, there we go. So that's ready to go. So let's just get this into position. And then hopefully the cork will be underneath. I hate doing this on camera. I don't know what it is. It's just so much pressure. What if I miss? Okay, that's the first one. And you will have noticed, and I always instantly regret it, but I never measure my binding. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing, I'm just stating a fact there. There we go. Okay. So let's just hope that all works out for the best. So I'm going to go out through the top, bring the cork out, and the thread out, go back through that one there, and hopefully, yay, there we are, that wasn't too painful, was it? And we've got enough thread. Yay! Okay. I don't know if that's going to be tight enough, but it'll do for now. There we are. Right. So that's in there now. Oh, do you know what? For one awful moment then I thought I'd put that in upside down. Ah! Having it straight would have been the least of my worries then, wouldn't it? There we are. And because it's not on the outside thing, even if it isn't dead centre, you know, thingy, it's not affecting the way that the journal folds, which is great. Because sometimes if you can get it a little bit off the centre, and then it's like, ah, it won't close. But that closes quite nicely. Right, let me put that away before I lose it. I'll be mailing around after thinking, where's my needle gone? Right, binding kit away. Excellent. Right, now let's give this a try. Now this this pocket that I'm going to be making here now is quite simple and straightforward. So if you don't have the freebie, if you're not signed up with the memberships, there's lots of other advantages, of course, to being members of Rach and Bella Crafts on their Coffee account. We will also be doing a journal draw every so often. If you are under one of the packages, you will be entered into that. So let's see, just have a read if you do go over and have a little look. I'll put all the details in the description box below, just if you're interested. You will obviously get a shout out on our social media, so I will give you a shout out either in my YouTube videos or in my Facebook group. And there's a couple of other bits and pieces on there. Opportunities to make requests for kits and kit themes rather, and also to you know, be invited to work with us on different projects. So yeah, it's very exciting. It's all in its early stages of development, but as it grows, I'm sure we will get more adept at what we're doing. But yeah, so this was the freebie that went out last weekend, I believe, for the month of August. This is one of them, I should say. And what I'm doing here now is just making a pocket with a journal card to go inside of it. These were made to complement August's kit, which is Wispy Wings. Thank you to those of you that have already purchased the kit, and I'm really enjoying seeing your makes in the Facebook group. We've had some great collaged bags done already, and a couple of other things too. So keep sharing your projects. It's lovely to see what you're doing, and it's always great to see your interpretation of how to use our kits, because it's a very different process. I have to explain this to you, between designing something digitally on a computer to then thinking of a creative way in which to use it. And sometimes I find I'm able to be more creative with other people's designs than I am my own, because when I've designed it, I know how it went together. I see the elements as separate elements rather sometimes than just a piece of ephemera. So working with your own designs does not always come easy, especially if you've been involved in the designing process. Okay, get those out of the way. Sorry, I don't tend to like printing out on screen, but I wasn't going to print two because I'm trying to save paper. Okay, so what we've got is we have a semi-shaped pocket. We have a open pocket that I'm going to now fold. But what I want to just double check, obviously I'm using this on a not full size journal, so this pocket may be a little large for the current journal that we're working with, so I may have to modify it, but that's okay. So I'm just going to start off by just folding across the line here, because there is a little line, and I don't normally put in lines because I know people like to use things in different ways, but there's a little line. Now that little foldy thing then should fold over as so, so that then you can stick it together, oops, on the inside. But what I want to just double check is if it's too, as I thought. So there's two things we can do with this now. You can either put your pocket together and use it as it is, but sideways, so then it won't matter if it's slightly wide for the page, or we can trim it down or fold it down, which is what I may do, and just make the pocket smaller. So once you've created your pocket, let's just ink that edge a minute, and then I'll decide which way I think it looks best. Now, if you don't like that white on the inside, when you're printing it, print one of the backing papers from the kit on the other side, and then you'll have a nice image on the inside as well. Oh, I didn't think of that, but never mind. Right, and then we're going to take this little bit here, and I'm going to add this onto the front to create a second pocket. And like I say, you don't need the freebie to do this. You can see the shapes I'm working with here. And this pocket is going to go just on the front there. And ideally, your circle there, your semicircle rather, should mirror the one above. So let's just affix that into place. There we are. I hope that's centre now. Yes, I think it is. There we go. Now, obviously, if I had more time and I wasn't doing this on video, I would stitch around some of these elements first, but it doesn't matter, and not everybody's got a sewing machine, so it's good to show alternate ways to do things. I'm going to put this pocket on sideways for the sake of this video, because my journal is a skinny one. And I'd like it to be able to fit. So you can either put it that way, or you can have it that way with a journal card coming out. Or, I think which my initial thought was, I was going to pop it on the back, but obviously it's too big to go on the back. So I'm going to use it on the inside, and then we can utilise it as a side tuck. I think I'm going to go that way. Yes. So before I do anything else, I'm just going to add a little bit of lace. Because you know me and my lace. And this is going to be a vintagey style journal. I love this stuff here. I'll be gutted when it's gone. I've literally only had like 1.5 meters of it, so I'm being really, you know, careful when I'm using it. But I know the day is going to come when it's going to all be gone, so I'm trying to use what I've got. Mustn't keep on hoarding stuff, must we? I did promise this year I was not going to hoard. And every time I turn around in my desk, I'm like, oh my goodness, look at all this stuff. So there we are. Just pop a bit of lace on the end. Make it feel a little bit more vintagey. Vintage with texture, I love it. And I think I'm going to just put one of these. I remembered this time I've printed them out little. Ooh, those two are nice. These are some tickets from our Wispy Wings kit. The only mistake I made actually when I printed these was I did them on very thin paper, and I don't know where it came from, but it's made them quite flimsy, but that's okay. They've still printed out quite nicely. So I'm just thinking now I may pop that, actually I might pop that there and pop that one there perhaps. I don't want it to look like a game of tic-tac-toe, but I do quite like that there. Now I need something behind, because I do like to have a little bit of, again, texture and putting the two together. Let's have a look what I've got in my scrap bag. Ooh, that could be good. So a little bit of that, I think. Do you know what? It's not in my scrap bag. It just doesn't go down at all. I take like the smallest pieces out of it. The smallest pieces. There we go. So let's just pop that on there, I think, like that. And then we'll have that on there like that. Shall I put a bit in between? Or am I being greedy now? Let's see. Shall I just put one there? Yeah, I think that'll be okay. Right, again, I would normally stitch, but I'm not going to, because I think things look just as fabulous when they're not stitched. and I don't like it when people feel like they can't replicate what you're making because they don't have a sewing machine. So I've been there. That was tough at the start, and I wouldn't want you to not craft along because you feel you can't do everything I'm doing. So sometimes it's good to just leave it naked, isn't it? Just go with the flow. Okay, so which way did I have that then? That way, I think. Yeah, I did, and then that on there, falling down there like that. There we go, very nice. Okay. There. Now, there is our pocket. And if we pop that on there like that, which I think looks rather marvellous. Obviously, if you prefer the other side, you can use the other side. You just need to make a new divot in it. But I'm going to put that there in the centre of the page. I'm already regretting now gluing all around all the different angles, because what you could have done is left the top open. And if I'd had a bit more forethought, I would have done that. But here we are, it's done now. So you could leave the top open, or you could even leave the front open. I don't like to do that when I'm working with thin paper because I'm afraid it's going to get buckled, and I just feel like that's more secured down. But you could have left the front open there and then had a double pocket. But you could also have a pocket from the top. You could also have a pocket from the bottom. You could do it that way, but it might get a bit messy coming in and out. So this now is going to double up as a little booklet. And then this should fit quite nicely onto the front of said booklet. Now again, like I said, if I had time, I might stitch around, but I'm not stitching today, so I'm just going to glue it on. There we go. Pop that in the middle of that. So that's the other little notelet there now. Now I might just take my edges off. I'm just going to let that dry for a second, and then I'm going to put a little bit of lace on the end. Where's that bit I had just now? Oh, shall I use this? Yeah, why not? Why not? Bit of ink. Now, just over. There we are. Very nice, very nice. And along the back, just in case I missed anything. There we go. Now I'm just going to glue this down on the end, and then I will fold it over. And then it'll look like a real little booklet then. Now if you wanted to be very, very clever, you could put some coffee dye paper inside. Then you've got a little mini journal inside of your journal. Let's just glue the back. There we go. There. Now it looks like a little mini journal, doesn't it? Marvellous. Now I just wonder. Okay. Did I mention coffee dye paper then? Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. Right. Let's just see now. Perhaps we can. I'm showing you now my really master plan measuring. That's how I measure for bits of paper to go into things like I did with those. It's just literally hold it and fold it. I don't use rulers or anything. I haven't got time to use rulers. Speaking of which, where's my ruler? Here we are. That's all my ruler is a cutting device. too short to measure everything. So what I'm thinking is we could do the same in here, couldn't we? So we could make a little concertina. Is it called a concertina? I don't know. I think that's what it's called. To me, in my mind, it sounds like what it should be called, but I'm not 100% confident. I would call it a harmonium or harmonica. It's not a harmonica, that's a mouth organ. But there we are. Shut up, I'm waffling. So let's just fold it back and then fold it over again. There we go. And then that bit there. Oh, there's always one that's a little bit wonky. Okay. There. Now, we can do this one of two ways. You can either glue using that little bit there, but I would be fearful that that might not hold it. And then you can open it that way, or you can put it out. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and use that little fold there to glue it in. Cool, check me out winging it, look. Marvellous. Marvellous. Right. Try not to have too much over glue because I don't want it seeping. And then we're just going to close that there. Pop that down. Pop it into place and then hope I didn't stick the whole book in. No, I didn't. Oh, how cute is that? Look at that. And then if you want to open it like a little booklet, you can. Options. That's what we love, don't we, ladies? Options. Could have been a little bit straighter, but that's all right. So that's part the freebie. That's part the freebie. Let's see if that'll fit in the front of there. Oh, it does. Lovely, look. So we need to have that hanging out like that. I should have gone the other way. No. I'm going to just pop that there for a second because I've got my lovely journal card and I have stitched this. I'm going to pop that in there behind it. So there we are. There we go. Right. So I'm not going to do any more because that's 42 minutes by my reckoning. So that's part one of our paper bag journal. So we've done the beginning of our flip at the front, which we're going to come back to. We've put our signature in. We've made the freebie pocket with the little notebook. Signature sewn in. Flips there to work with. Got a lovely flippy page at the back. And I'm going to turn it over. And we've got another harmonium concertina page. And we've even got our closures on. Gosh, haven't we got a lot done in 42 minutes? Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. So any information that you need will be in the description box below. If you don't know how to do that, open up your videos. You can see the whole thing. And where the writing is, click it and it'll open the long description box. I will try and put the link in the comments in case you can't find the description box. Join me for the next video and you will see what I'm going to do for part two. But thank you for joining me. It's been so much fun having you along. Take care, everybody. Bye now.